Let's talk about something that I think is quietly killing the content of a lot of women building online. And it's not an issue with strategy or a visibility issue. It's not even a messaging issue, really. It's the thing that you do right before you post. That moment where you read back what you wrote and you soften it. You add a disclaimer, you tone it down because you're worried about how it's going to land. You're worried someone might disagree or that you might lose a follower or offend a prospect. So you make it nice. And nice makes you invisible. So today I want to talk about where this comes from, what it's costing you, and what happens when you stop doing it. Because I'm in the middle of figuring this out myself, and the difference has been significant. I still catch myself making things palatable. I'll write something that feels true and direct, and then I'll start thinking about the people who might read it. What if someone disagrees? What if it's too personal? What if I lose a potential customer because I said something too specific or too strong? And so I gloss it over. I soften it. I add but that's just my opinion, or I know this isn't for everyone. Take the thing that felt alive and real and file it down until it's safe and completely forgettable. And I know exactly where it comes from. We were trained for this, not in business, but in life. To be agreeable, likable, don't rock the boat, don't make people uncomfortable, don't say the thing that might make someone think less of you. That conditioning runs deep. And when you bring it into your business, it shows up as content that sounds like everyone else. Because content that's been softened to the point where nobody could possibly disagree with it is also content that nobody could possibly feel strongly about. So if your content feels safe and polished and nobody seems to respond to it, the safety might be the problem. Not because your ideas aren't good, but because the version of your ideas that made it through the softening process lost the thing that would have made someone stop scrolling. So here's what being nice in your content actually costs you. And I say this from experience because I've lived on both sides of it. And it costs you connection. The content that connects most deeply is the content that says something specific enough that the right person feels like you're talking directly to her. And specificity requires an opinion, a point of view, a willingness to say, this is what I believe, even if not everyone agrees. And when you soften that away, the content becomes general enough to offend no one and connect with no one at the same time. It costs you authority. People don't follow someone who hedges on everything. They follow someone who has a clear perspective and isn't afraid to stand behind it. The disclaimer at the end of every opinion doesn't make you seem balanced. It makes you seem unsure. And unsure doesn't build trust. And it costs you recognition. So when every post is smoothed down to the safest possible version, there's nothing distinctive to remember you by. Your content will blend into the feed. She scrolls because there's nothing enough to stop for. Nice content isn't bad, it's just invisible. And invisible is the most expensive thing your business can be. So I want to tell you what happened when I started letting the real stuff through. Because lately I've been posting about my divorce, about not having financial autonomy after years as a stay-at-home mom, about what it actually feels like to be 55 and rebuilding from a place I never thought I'd be in. These are not polished posts. They are not palatable or safe. And they have gotten more feedback than anything I've posted in a long time. Not because they were perfectly written or optimized, but because they were true. Specifically, personally, uncomfortably true. The kind of true that makes someone stop scrolling and think, she just said the thing I've been feeling and couldn't put into words. That's what happens when you stop softening. The right people will find you. Not more people, the right people. The ones who are waiting for someone to say the thing nobody else would say. The ones who needed permission to feel what they were already feeling. And those who follow you and trust you and eventually buy from you because you were the one who told the truth when everyone else was being nice. And I want to be clear, I haven't fully figured this out. I still catch myself hedging. I still have posts that I soften before I hit publish. So this is an ongoing practice, not a complete transformation. But every time I choose conviction over comfort, the response tells me I'm moving in the right direction. You don't have to share your deepest personal struggles to stop being invisible. You just have to stop filing the edges of your ideas before you share them. So say the thing that you actually think. Take out the disclaimer. Let the post be a little uncomfortable and see what happens. The women who build real audiences and real trust online aren't the nicest ones necessarily. They're the most honest and the most transparent ones. Honest and kind are not mutually exclusive. You can be warm and direct. You can be generous and opinionated. That's the combination that actually builds something. So here is the takeaway today. The conditioning that taught you to be agreeable, to soften, make yourself palatable, it followed you into your business. And it is making your content invisible. So you don't have to become someone you're not. You don't have to be provocative for the sake of being provocative. You just have to stop editing out the parts of you that are actually interesting. Your opinion, your perspective, your real feelings about the problem that your audience is dealing with. And those are the things that make someone stop scrolling. They're the things that build trust and recognition and eventually a business. So let the post be a little uncomfortable. Say the thing. Watch what changes. And if you want help figuring out what your real message actually is, the Authority Audit will help you get clear on that. The link is below in the description. But first, I'd love it if you drop a comment before you go. Do you catch yourself softening your content before you post? What's the thing you keep almost saying but pulling back from? I would love to know. And I promise whatever it is, it's probably exactly what your audience needs to hear. I will see you in the next video.